Cool. Right, I think we're back. I think we're here. Is working. Yes. Cool. Get some more lyrics done. I'm gonna play this from the top just so I can refresh my memory on where I'm at. If you're in the chat, say hello, just so I know I'm not the only one here. Let's have a listen. Try singing these lyrics I've got here for this bit. Try and write verse 2, I think.
Make no mistake, I took no vows. You really think you own your clever crown? Co-opted fate, I wish I never found. A sovereignty revoked, a virtue disavowed.
Cool. So I need a second verse. So verse 1 was like, what are we kind of talking about? I guess trying to sort of empathise with an aggressor towards you. So I've got to try and then sort of giving up on that towards the end of the verse and just getting a bit more angry. So chorus. Yeah, okay. So what do I want to do for verse 2? What do I put here? Sentiment towards person. Yeah. Oh, forget how hard it is writing lyrics. Right, okay. So, I don't know what I want to say in the second verse so much.
Make no mistake, I took no vows.
So verse 1 is like struggling to understand the aggressive person. Chorus is like saying, okay, I can be aggressive too, and then sort of lamenting the fact that I've been put in this situation. That there's an aggressor towards me. Then verse 2, what do I want to talk about? What else have I written in my ideas here? I suppose this could be a point. Need some arc to this story, I think. I suppose we could talk about like more societal stuff in verse 2 about like how, you know, poor conditions in society might cause people to be aggressive towards each other. That's a bit boring as a theme on its own. I mean, I could just have another verse, really, you know, talking about this, trying to empathise with people that wrong you. I mean, that it might be worth just doing that again for a verse, but like just taking a different angle, because it has a bit of a back and forth kind of feeling, like a dialogue, like a sort of seesawing kind of dialogue, internal dialogue or monologue even, where you're going from like empathy to lack of empathy and back and forth. So I'm going to do that in verse 2. So I suppose I could say, yeah, what could go wrong in my life to want to be this person, but then verse 2 part 2, like just almost that sort of lose empathy, and then sort of, you know, you can't blame your situation for everything, you know, like just because you had a rough run of luck or something doesn't mean you get to wrong me, sort of thing. Could be the sort of second half of verse 2, I guess. So I talk about like accountability and stuff. So, right. Also, am I just talking to myself? Is anyone watching? If anyone is, say hello. Hello, hello. Long time no see. It's been a while. A crazy time for you, I guess. Do you want to hear my chorus? Here you go.
Make no mistake, I took no vows. You really think you own your clever crown? Co-opted fate, I wish I never found. A sovereignty revoked, a virtue disavowed.
There we go. How's life with you, man? It must be, I can't even imagine, it must be pretty mental where you are. It's yeah. So I mean, I mix all my own music. So like, I've been a member for a while, and so yeah. It's a really good platform, I think. For like, I haven't done one of the Nail the Mixes for a while now, but yeah, I can imagine. Do you have any what's the word, like, are you sort of like safe, and is there anything going on near you, or like or are you kind of relatively calm sort of where you are? No, I've never really entered I entered once or twice, I think, when I very first started, but I haven't entered one of them for a long time. I might get back into doing them because I think it's good practice, actually. If you can do one a month, you know, it's a good. I haven't, you know. If anything, I just like to watch the videos, really. I got this new Neural DSP mantra plugin the other day. My friend Josh works for Neural, so he gave me a license to this. It's quite cool. Like, it's got all your vocal stuff. It's a bit weird, like, to get used to the workflow. I tried this sculpt EQ thing and it didn't sound very good, to be honest. But the compressor and saturation are cool. And what I'm interested to try, actually, tell you what, let's have a listen, is turn all this off. Oh, hang on. So they've got all these, like, where are they? Like, yeah, like these vocal effects that I'm interested to try out. So, like, have you ever end up in the pool as well? Is that, do you tend to enter? So you got all of these things, like, what's this? Kind of cool. Oh, that's a bass. I didn't mean to see that. What else do they got? Lo-fi ping.
Make no mistake, I took no vows. You really think you own your clever crown?
That's cool.
Co-opted fate, I wish I never found. My sovereignty revoked, my virtue disavowed. Make no mistake,
That's cool. There we go. Might use that at some point.
you own your
I like that.
co-opted fate, I wish I never found.
That's mental. So you can't. Why is it closed to male? Is it because like they want you to like enlist or something? Why is it closed to? That's crazy. It's yeah. Where are you? Are you in? You're in Kiev, right? Is that where you are? That's mental. Right, I'm gonna try and talking to you is much more interesting than writing this song, but I do need to get on with this song, so I need to try and I'm working on some lyrics at the moment. So I've got this second verse here. Yeah, I've kind of turned off their guitar plugins. I don't know if I like them so much. They're really good for like demos. They're just so easy. They're really easy to use, and they do sound good. But it might just be my guitar or something. I just don't like. There's something in the mid range with them that just consistently I don't like. And then the minute I use the overloud stuff. So like I don't know. I could. No, right, I'm getting distracted now. But look up overloud. I think their stuff is really good. It comes with Slate Digital, which I have a subscription to. And yeah, I'm using their stuff at the moment here. Sounds pretty good. There's something in the mid-range that's just missing for me. I don't know what it is. So I need to find a way of saying like I'm basically trying to empathise with yeah, I mean they are good sounding plugins. Your guitar might just be better suited to these plugins, you know. Just for some reason my guitar, or however I play, whatever it is, just doesn't work brilliantly with them for a final mix. Don't know why. I've mixed other people's songs with their plugins and they sound great. It's just something about my guitar I think just doesn't cooperate with them very well. So yeah. So I need to write some lyrics. It's about the second verse is about like empathizing with someone that sort of wronged you, I guess, or trying to. And then the second part of the verse is like, nah, fuck this. I'm not empathizing with this person. You know, it's that whole sort of moral dilemma. So the first half, I want to say something along the lines of like, what must have gone wrong for you, this person, the aggressor, to end up in this place. So like, have I written any useful words here? I always write loads of words down to try and prompt myself, and then none of them actually end up getting used. I suppose like something like maybe the word born, like BRNE, could be good here. Like born. Try to remember where's the melody? Oh, it's a mock blur. Oh man, yeah. That's crazy. What is like public opinion like where you are? Like what I obviously I only hear what, you know, what I hear in the news. Like what's the sort of mood of the public where you are? Regarding the whole war and that. That's crazy. I feel like you get so many people over here like talking about it as if they know so much about it, and it's like, I feel like unless you've lived there, it's hard to know what to think, you know. Right. So something about say, how could I end up? Oh, what was it again? Verse 2. What does go wrong in life towards being the attacker? What 2? So, pathology, that's a good word. Nature, that's another thing. Also written, look at systemic. Could be a good word here. Trauma. These are all kind of the relevant ones for this particular phrase. Wake, I guess, and that's a good word for this. Right. Hello. How are you? Who said go on, I'll give you a play. Here you go. Yeah, that's crazy to hear. Like, it's funny how so like a lot of people want to fight, and when you say that the other half are against all decisions, what do you mean? Like, as in do they just want like a ceasefire or like a peace deal, or like or what's the like? That's super interesting, man. Here you go, I'll give you a play. I'll play from like verse 2. Here we are, this is verse 2. I'm writing the lyrics for this bit at the moment. Here you go. So this is roughly the vocal melody that I've mapped on this piano bit here. I've had a haircut, if that's what you mean. It's just shorter. Same haircut I always have, just shorter.
You really think you own your clever crown? Co-opted
Yeah, that's me singing. Yeah.
fate I wish I never found.
Thank you.
Sovereignty revoked, but you disavowed.
So I need a verse part. No, it's all the same haircut. So what do you think's a likely outcome? Like, where do you think things are going? You talk about like peace deal and stuff. Where do you see things ending? Like, I suppose it's anyone's guess, isn't it? Really, but and are you gonna? Do you intend to stay like where you are in Ukraine or in Kiev, or like, do you see yourself living there forever? Like, if things settle down? That's mental. When you say previous one I was doing, do you mean like a different song? I've been working on a few at the same time, so I just wanted to sit down and do this. I'm not going to be on for a huge amount of time. I might be on for another hour or so. I've got some teaching to do today. But then I'm going to crack on with a bit more. Yeah, I can imagine that's. I mean, from the outside in, obviously I don't know, but it looks like it kind of looks like things are going that way, doesn't it? I don't even know what to think about it anymore. Well, I say anymore as if I ever did, but I think there's a lot of people over here that like are a little bit too. They think they know it all when it comes to. You can ask about any conflict, and they seem to think they know everything. You know, man, smart move. I think you probably won't be the only one. Yeah, crazy. Okay, right, let's crack on. I need to write some lyrics. I'm getting distracted by quite interesting chats, to be fair. So how do you say, what's an interesting way of saying or predetermined, like saying like, were you born this way kind of thing, like, so determined or like or predestined kind of thing. Oh, nice one. Well, enjoy that. I could probably do with another one of them, so I need to have some more singing lessons now. Cool. Enjoy that, man. I hope it goes well for you. Feel free to tune in whenever. It's good to chat to you again. Been ages. For anyone that in the chat that doesn't know, Alex and I played a show together in Kiev when my old band went on tour there. Like, when was it? Like 6 years ago. And Alex's band, I think, opened the show. I can't remember which way around it was. For anyone listening that's interested. So yeah, that was about 6. I think that was 6 years ago. I think it was 2019. We went over, which is crazy. It's like a lifetime ago. Right. This is my part. Concentrate. Right. Something about predetermined. Like violence being predetermined, or like something about free will is an interesting, or like determinism is an interesting topic to think about. Or how, asking the question, can you resist your sort of predetermined outcomes for yourself? Could be an interesting question to ask in the lyrics. Set in motion, that's another. Something about asking if, like, set in motion's an interesting term. Hello all 9 of you. Say hello if you're in the chat. Otherwise I feel like I'm writing lyrics to myself. Well, I am, to be fair. And actually don't say hello, because then I get distracted. But please do. Emotion. Set in motion. Right, let's actually try and structure this verse out. So where are we structure? Right, verse 2. So line 1 is that. Line 2 are our outcomes, like predetermined. Hey, thank you for following. I always appreciate when people follow when I'm writing lyrics, because, like, I have to admit it's the most boring part of the process to watch, because it's just me sitting and thinking for hours on end, basically. Writing riffs is way more, like, exciting to watch. So I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Oh, cool. Are you like a metal fan? Particularly? Oh, I need a third line. So line 1 is like, hello, hello. So line 1 is that. Line 2. So it's all kind of questioning stuff. Line 3. Could be this, to be fair. So it's meant to be this breakdown of feeling empathy towards someone that's like wronging you, where you start to try and be empathetic, but then you just get angry. It's basically what verse 2 is. So line 3, losing empathy, sort of talking about you can't blame your situation for everything. Line 4, actually no, line 3, I'm going to make that the last line. Line 4 can be like, is society to blame, or is it the individual? You know, it's all kind of asking questions of like free will and determinism and stuff. Like how justified are you in feeling angry at someone that's wronged you? Because like how much did they actually choose to do that? You know, it's a concept. I think that makes sense. So line 1, what would have to go wrong in my life to be the attacker? So like, it's a question. So start with a how. What do I start with in the first verse? Oh, there's no questions in the verse, so I'm not sort of being too repetitive by asking a question. So I could say, I think trauma is an interesting concept as well. So what would have to go wrong? So like, what? How do I say that in an interesting way? What would have to go wrong? Like, what? Or a sequence set in motion. That could work. It's kind of a sibilance. Is interesting. Sequence set in motion. Or was yeah, sequence set in motion. I could say, yeah, right. Okay, so a sequence set in motion. I don't want to say from the start, but like from a sequence set in motion, like, what's the word for like out of control, like out of your control? By a sequence set in motion by or before. What's just a synonym for the word before? Let's just ask Mr. GPT, my personal assistant. Try not to get too AI with all of this songwriting stuff, but sometimes it's helpful for synonyms and shit. Hitherto. That's a very British word, isn't it? Proceeding. Let's go with more poetic / lyrical. See what it comes out with. Long ago. Oh, I've literally used the phrase like long ago in the last song. So I'm not going to say that. In days gone, in ages past. Okay, these are a bit more like, or bygone. Oh, wait. Sequence set in. So about wake is interesting. Foretide. Oh, that's an interesting phrase. Let's see more abstract ideas. Sequence set in motion. How do you just say like early? Like what? What's a synonym for like the dawn? You know, or like daybreak, first light. It's not quite going to fit in the line. Sequence set in motion. Say, set in like before. I'll just say like before you were here. I don't want to say from the start, that's really generic. And what's a more poetic way of saying the phrase from the start? What's another way, like a beginning, like a... Oh, like a sequence predetermined. A sequence, that's too long a phrase. A sequence... Or could you maybe say a sequence that I don't know, say a series set in motion. I think that flows a bit better. Series set in motion. That you've been handed, I guess. And then you can say, or, like, was it something else? Is this a choice you've made that's brought you here? So line 1 is like just saying that your outcomes are predetermined, but then line 2 is saying, well, actually maybe you chose to be here, being this nasty person to me. So line 1, series set in motion. Looks like just out of control. Unbridled. Beyond. Series set in motion. Or could say without your, like, yeah, series set in motion. I don't even know what kind of sound of word I want. What's synonyms for predetermined? See what that kind of comes out with. Preordained. It's kind of cool. Written in stone. Laid in advance, woven beforehand. It's all kind of vaguely along the right lines lyrically. Scripted by silence. Wow. Series set in motion. Oh, Siri thought I was talking to it then. And said series. Alright, I didn't hear it that time. A series set in motion. For you to, like, that you now are responsible for, I guess, or I'm surprised 8 of you are watching me just struggle to think of words, but I very much appreciate it. Hopefully you like the song, but what little of it I'm playing right now. A series set in motion. What do I want to say? Like, that was undetermined by you. That's kind of what I want to say, but I had like 3 words to say it in, according to how I'm kind of building this melody. Series set in motion. So series set in motion, like you bemoan, like Siri keeps thinking I'm talking to it. Fuck off. Right, a series set in motion. Or a tone could be a word. Doesn't have to end in an O. I don't know if I've picked the O. Does any of these words maybe work? Lament. Or now, a series set in motion now. Like that's now played out. So or maybe just like unstoppable, just a word for unstoppable. Hello, I'm back. It's been a while. A series set in motion. Fuck off, Siri. Siri keeps thinking, when I say the word series, Siri keeps... Fuck off. No, I actually said Siri that time, to be fair. Right. I just want to disable that for a minute. No, just... I've been mixing some songs for some people. Trying to figure out what I want to do, like content-wise, to promote the music. Just trying to figure out a balance. I think what I'm going to start doing is... I've started doing it. It's have Friday as my like bullshit content day where I have to just make loads of fucking content. But then I think what I'm going to do is get back to streaming regularly, and each time I'm going to do like a little, just like 20-30 second summary of the main things I do in the stream. You know, just end the stream and leave the camera rolling and just like do a quick talk through of what I've done, and then just put that out each time I do a stream, so that anyone on Instagram or whatever can kind of follow what I'm doing, and you know. Won't be massively engaging, I don't think, but like as people get more and more interested in the music, hopefully they can, you know, if they're not interested in following on Twitch, they can kind of see it, and then when the song comes out, they'll be like, oh, I've seen him write this song. Yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting. Might be a bit of a slow burner on the content front, but I think people will be interested in that, so that's the plan. Like unrelenting. What's some synonyms for unrelenting? Like. I just want to say without your choice. What's a synonym for without? In your absence? How would I phrase that? In your absence is not really a way of phrasing that. Or a series set in motion, you now. Fuck off, Siri. Series set in motion. What's it called when like when you get like an unfair trial? Yeah, like if you're tried without a jury kind of thing. This could be an interesting analogy. Like persecuted, rigged. We talk about a show trial. That's an interesting colloquial term. They talk about kangaroo court. I'm not going to talk about kangaroos in my lyrics. Although that's in a Tool song where I think it's... What Tool song is it where he talks about kangaroo? It's talking about like a kangaroo court, you know. A show trial. I don't think that phrase really works here. A series set in motion. Like, is your sentence? Or for... What's synonyms for sentence? Synonyms for that word. It's preordained, to come back to that word. series set in motion. Something about like in the dark, like before, you know, before daylight kind of thing. Or a series set in motion. Could say, talk about judges and juries and stuff, like, something about as you how you plead, like saying you're arguing this is all set in motion without your choice, kind of thing. Like, is your plea? Yeah. I like the preordained thing. That was an interesting word. Providence is an interesting word. Did I write that down? No. Try that as a word. Just want to mute that for a second. I could just say preordained. That fits the meaning. I feel like it's not the most interesting. Makes sense. I'm gonna write that for now. And then say, or did you choose this? So B. Or we could say something, or da 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 da, stand to gain. something like that. So like, or, you know, is this life you're leading something from which you stand to gain? You know, very loud car just... What the fuck is that? I'm going to close my window. There's a loud car out the front. Jesus. It's expensive. They always have expensive cars next door, and I'm like, there's no way you own these cars. They have a McLaren next door. And like, how the fuck have you got this? And then they're just driving out with an expensive sounding Porsche. And it's like matte black, so like it looks expensive. I don't know Porsches, because I know like some of them can be quite, not cheap, but like on the cheaper end, and then some of them are just like hundreds of thousands of pounds. So a series set in motion preordained. Shut up, Siri. Fuck off. I need to stop saying that. Or did you think or did you know how to phrase this? Something about like you stand to gain something from this life you've chosen to live, rather than it just being out of your control, and you've just, you know, a lot of people who do sort of bad things, and to some degree fairly, would say, you know, it's not my fault, I've, you know, ended up here for whatever reason. And that's probably a fair argument in many ways. But then the line 2 is meant to be saying, well, maybe actually you're choosing to do this. You know, I don't know the answer. So like, or something like, I suppose I could do like a little internal rhyme thing here. So, or do you stand to gain from my disdain? That's not very good. That's a bit too corny. Yeah, line 2 is not very sympathetic. Line 1 is, sort of. Or do you stand to gain your from or do you stand to gain while others, something that, while others has to be an A word, like or do you stand to gain it doesn't have to rhyme, I guess. Series set in motion, preordained. Or sort of, am I being made a mug? Or are you taking advantage, is kind of what the question is like. Or do you kind of wield your yeah, brain's braining. I'm a bit tired. Or I could say a series set in motion, preordained, or a sequence you had every chance to change. Could be good. Or do you squander every or do you push away every opportunity to change positively? It's almost like Stockholm syndrome, where you sort of, talk about the captor. Like a series set in motion, preordained. Again, series. Fuck off, bro. Or had you series set in motion, preordained, or did you refuse, or do you refuse, probably more, every maybe a better way of putting it? To be a shorter, or do you refuse to change? It's pretty simple. Is that a good way of putting it? Kind of getting there. So I feel like it's a bit too unexciting as a lyric. Or have you come to welcome the something? So ordained is like oh yeah, it's like a religious thing, isn't it? You can be officially ordained. So series set in motion, preordained. But maybe instead of all. But maybe. You refuse to so no, it's not refuse to change, it's more like maybe you're choosing this, so maybe actually you choose or perhaps it might be better like that. Yeah, something about, yeah, that could work. Some sustaining. Yeah, I get that. Series set in motion preordained. Perhaps you never intended to make a change. Perhaps you never. Perhaps you just want to shift the blame. Something like that. Perhaps you need a reason to explain and then go on to talk about perhaps that's just you like use to excuse yourself with, which I need to say in one word. Or maybe you excuse your maybe you relinquish all the blame, something about that. Or maybe that's how you justify things in your own head. Like maybe that's what gives you peace of mind, even though you know you're the one actually choosing to continue this lifestyle, you know. Siri set emotion preordained. Or shut up, Siri. Fuck off. Or Siri set emotion. Or maybe, yeah. It's a sin of like explanation. A reason. Telling. Serious emotion preordained. I quite like that stand to gain as a term. Or is this or are we those from who you, or am I, or are we those from whom you stand to gain? Like, that's not, I don't know if that's just a really simple way of saying that. It makes sense though, doesn't it? A series set in motion preordained, so saying, so I'm sort of saying with a bit of empathy, look, maybe this isn't your fault, maybe you're just, you know, you didn't have any control over this. Or are you taking advantage of other people and using that as your excuse, kind of thing? Or maybe that's what you tell those from whom you stand to gain. I think that makes sense. But I don't know if I want to phrase that in a bit more of a neat way, I think. I don't know how to phrase that. A better way of saying that, I think. Or are we not those, not or are we It's really hard to just find simple phrases sometimes that'll work, right? Could do it the other way around, so I could say, are we those from who you stand to gain? Or is this thingy preordained? What? Yeah, am I the one from whom you stand to gain? Or is this? Or yeah, am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Or was this it? Series something preordained? So the other way around could make more sense. So like, am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Or is this sequence? I quite like going back to that now, actually. Something preordained. Or no, or was this? Go away. I think this way round might work better. Although, no, because in the context I want it to get angrier as the verse goes on. Actually, no, it's meant to be a bit back and forth, so maybe it can go this way. Am I just one? Or do you just see me as I feel like that's a bit too colloquial, that phrase. I know what you're saying. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Oh, is this... What's the word for just like nasty? Or was this nasty sequence preordained? You know what I mean? Like, or was this unfortunate? What's synonyms for like just sad? You know, mournful or woeful sequence. Am I just one from his stand to gain? Or was this sinful sequence? And then preordained, because that's like a religious thing, so you could say sinful, it's kind of tying it in somehow, I guess. Yeah, the only thing with the word fate is it's a bit like overused. Oh, actually, say that, I've got it, it's in the chorus. I've got co-opted fate in the chorus. I don't really want to overuse that word. So there we are. It's overused and I've used it. Hell yeah. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Or am I just another from whom you stand to gain? I could say this sordid sequence. I think that's the right kind of word. Just means like sad, doesn't it? Or like nasty. What do it mean? Morally degraded. Yeah, that's the right word. Oh. Was this sordid sequence preordained? Kind of works. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Does that work? I think go up in pitch in the first line. I just want from you. Right, I'm gonna switch these melodies around. It's the let's put that there for now. Alright. Should be there. I love that phrase. Am I the one? Or am I just, yeah, just one. I like the word just actually in this, because it implies like the insignificance that they put on your sort of life, really. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Or is this a sordid sequence? Don't ever love this. Sometimes, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I just have to get the pitching. I think that's got to go down in pitch. I'll make a note in the marker. I think that shouldn't. That's like the beginning of the question. And that weirdly, although that's where the question mark is, that's actually like the, so, nope, that's meant to be here. Line 1 up in pitch, line 2 down. Okay. So you've got a couple of lines. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain, or is this sordid sequence preordained? Did I rhyme in the first verse? Yeah. Infrared, understand. They're gonna rhyme. He's of infrared, how to stray so far to understand. Understand is how I'm gonna sing that, and then it'll rhyme. I think maybe just making the rhyme too close. Could I just get rid of the rhyme? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the rhyme that I don't like. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain, or is this sordid sequence? Like, because we get into the next part of the chorus, the verse, don't we? So. Just one from whom you stand to gain. Sorry, hearing a lot of chug chugs. I think if I play around with that, I think I have to have a go at actually singing it. Let's just put it in the lyrics for now. Right, yeah. I quite like these. It's, you know, a bit more metaphorical in that first line there. Say self-ordained. Got that sibilance. As a source of self-ordained. Self. Where is this sorted sequence? What's another way of saying preordained? What's some synonyms I have for predetermined again? Why did I write these down? Predetermined, preordained, foreordained, fated. Or engraved. I think it should be, or was this sorted sequence preordained? It's not a bad lyric. I don't know if I love it. That scornful sequence preordained. I prefer scornful, I think. Or was this scornful sequence preordained? If I prefer that. Yeah, I have to have a go at singing it, I think, to decide if I like it, really. Being portrayed, yeah. I think maybe there's something in the rhyme that maybe is just a bit too close somehow. Am I just one from whom you stand to gain? Or was this scornful sequence? like written. Okay, so was my scornful, or is my scornful sequence preordained? A bit more personal. Sort of tells the story of it a little bit. Might well from whom he stands to gain, or is my scornful sequence say free of shame, as if to imply like, you know, almost the other person can't be ashamed of their actions because they didn't choose them, you know? Is my scornful sequence free? Unashamed? What's or well, obviously blame is the other, kind of rhymes with that. Am I just one from who you stand to gain, or is my scornful sequence? Or can my scornful sequence, or should this scornful feel no shame? Sequence. I'm trying to think of words that rhyme with gain or just have an A sound in them. It kind of works for now. Maybe sound to gain, or is my scornful sequence? Or we could say, or does, you can use the word fate, or does this fate free you from your shame? As if to say, like, does this, the fact that this was going to happen anyway, free you from feeling any guilt about the situation? It makes for great streaming entertainment value sitting in silence, doesn't it? Minus 1 from east down to gain. So I think it's all was my scornful sequence preordained. Might be. Maybe it's the word scornful. Maybe there's something about that I don't love. I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? I'm trying not to overanalyze. Maybe what I need to do is get the next line or two down. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to hop off. It's only a short one today because I started a bit late. I've got to start teaching in about 10 minutes for a couple of hours. So, but we made a start on some more lyrics. Getting there. Yeah, I might. I've already had a couple coffees today. I got up early and I'm a bit like, so yeah. I'm gonna, but feel free to caffeinate yourself on my behalf. I'm gonna leave this for now. I think it's sounding, it's getting there. Don't know if I love those lyrics, but we'll revisit with some fresh eyes and some fresh ears. Let's just right. Let's. Cool. There you go. Nice. Right. Let's call an end to this stream. Where's Streamlabs thingy? Cool. Right. There we go. I'll catch you again soon. I might make a little